Mr. Sopko, thank you again for your tireless work over many years on this issue. If I could just pick up where Mr. Beret was on the SIV issue. My understanding, and if I'm hearing you correctly, Mr. Sopko, you would like to audit the SIV program and have been denied that cooperation, or you need to be formally requested by this committee?
Well, I think it's a useful program to look at, but I think the State Department IG said they could do it on their own, so we deferred to them. We have a process in place. It may not sound like much, but we have a process in place to deconflict with other IGs. State Department said they could do it, and we said we can give you whatever information we can.
So the State Department can provide, per Ms. Wagner's questions, the State Department can provide its, quote, internal documents to an IG, but not to your special IG, apparently.
Yeah, that's what it turns out. And they were arguing...
And is that consistent? Oh, I'm sorry, they were arguing what now?
They originally argued that because Afghanistan collapsed, there was no more Reconstruction. And we told them, well, the statute, our statute gives us jurisdiction to never really define Reconstruction, but looking at all humanitarian programs and basically all programs that benefited the Afghan
And what's unique
people.
is you can look across the interagency.
That's the
DOD,
point.
USAID,
That is
state,
the point.
right.
You hit it, Mr. Chairman.
Was this your experience with the last administration, or even the one prior? This lack of cooperation, the fact that you've never even met. You were hoping to meet today the SRAP, the Special Presidential Envoy?
Well, it's been difficult. Let's just say this. We had gotten, cooperation from the Obama administration and the
Why do you
Trump
think you're not
administration.
getting it now?
Well, it may be a legal argument, but I think we've proven that legal argument is not accurate, and I think the appropriators believe we're correct, and I think committees like this believe we are. I don't know.
So along those lines, when you have the acting Deputy Secretary of State, Ms. Newland, testifying that she has no evidence of our former allies being murdered, prosecuted, essentially hunted down, do you think that is malicious, misinformed, ignorant? Just a quick Google search shows UN reports, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, your own outreach.
I think it was, I don't know who, somebody wiser than me said, don't infer evil intent when it could just be incompetency. I don't know if that was Napoleon.
Okay, well, I think we'll go with best case incompetence. But I think we have our suspicions.
Mr. Chairman, I don't mean to be flippant, but a lot of times what we've learned is that bad news doesn't float up. There are people who want to keep bad news away from...
I've been around this town, sadly, a long time, and I've seen from top down, they make it clear it's not welcome. And it's not good for your career to challenge the orthodoxy and the bureaucracy. Just in the limited time I have left, on June 9th, the UN noted that the Taliban is providing al-Qaeda members with monthly welfare payments and Afghan passports, which should ring counterterrorism alarm bells all over the world. The Ministry of Interior, as you know, is now run by Siraj Haqqani, a longtime interlocutor between the Taliban and al-Qaeda. Have you seen in your reporting how integrated al-Qaeda is? Does this seem accurate? Do you have anything to weigh in there?
Up to now, sir, we haven't. We're aware of the UN reporting, but we have not done any independent work on our own in that area.
What would be the process to help you do some independent work there?
Committee can ask us to do it. I've never refused.
And we also have reported, well, I'll certainly work with the chairman to ask you to do that. We have reporting of the UN's reporting the Taliban is using al-Qaeda training manuals. There are 30 to 60 senior al-Qaeda officials in Afghanistan, 400 al-Qaeda fighters living in Afghanistan, training camps, welfare payments, suicide training. So I would certainly hope that your office would start digging into that
Well, can I just mention, one thing we have been digging into, and that's, again, from our outreach program, is how the Taliban are shutting down regular schools and forcing the kids to go to these super-duper madrasas that are basically focused on radicalization. And actually, my deputy and my staff that were down in Houston were talking to a number of people, and they are particularly concerned about this, because you're going to have a whole new generation of Afghans who have been educated on becoming terrorists, little terrorists, and that's our big concern.
Armed with billions of our taxpayer-funded weapons, and now with taxpayer-funded aid that is being diverted. Thank you, Mr. Sopko.